Thank you. You might resume your seat. Other members, may I now call on Honorable Member for Kiang East?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and good afternoon, fellow parliamentarians here. I think this issue at hand is a national issue. This is a national issue that is a concern to all of us here. Right? It is not a problem of CRR, it is not a problem of LRR, it is not a problem of URR or somewhere else, but this is a national issue. Okay? Now, at first, I will start by empowerment. We said
Order in the House, please. Order.
Okay, we said government should empower youths. But then looking at the National Assembly here, the 5 members that are nominated by the president, we have not seen anyone that is nominated that is between the age bracket of the youth. We have not seen that one there. And then again, not only those 5 nominated members without the youth rep there. We have seen among those 5 nominated members, there is nobody that is representing the people living with disabilities. And then from there, going to the other issue, that is, if you look at the irregular migration, this is something that has started a long way ago. And then it has to be, or we have a long way to go in order to cope this, right? Now, we have seen teachers, we have seen security men, security officers leaving their job, embark on this irregular migration. I am not going to talk about lack of job opportunity here. Right? Those people are employed, and teachers have put down their chalks, pens, embark on this journey because their salary is not something that they can depend on. Right? Government has to work on the salary of those people. Okay, and also we have talked about the sporting facilities that government should provide. We have seen our national stadium. Okay, I'm not going to talk about those areas that do not have any mini stadium or something else. But let's talk about the national stadium itself that has been banned by CAF. So those are areas where government has to intervene and improve on those areas in order to curb irregular migration. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Nyani?
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I will say there is no place like home. The reason I say this, all those youth embarking on these backward journeys, they do not have any opportunities. If at all they have opportunities, they would rather stay here, looking their families with their kids and their sisters. But the reason they embark on this journey, there is no job opportunity for the youths, especially in my area, which is Nyani district. Our Nyani district youths are lacking behind. I don't think so. Government consider our those area. There is no proper skill center. We will say that this skill center is there purposely for the youth. We are lacking that. And job opportunities, unemployment rate is higher to our regions. And when we come to the agricultural sectors, I will talk about the CRR here. If I told we are given tools, CRR can fill the whole nations, but only CRR alone can fill the whole nation. But the problem is governments are not considering us. So after that, let me say this Mandinka proverbs. They said nimba de unta aka kindiro leke. Ni aje ko ni fondinkel be fanan silo mutaka bitaka nyimba ko silo la. Wallahi fennate bulo ko ne jang ibe menkel. Nim fembe bulo ko ne jabe menkel. Mote ikuntili you go this rescue nyimba mo rescue let. Ibita kan fo be falaje fo teta falaje. Nobody knows. But reason ibake kan because of poverty. Poverty is killing us. That's the reasons this backward journey is going on. To me, even this 50,000, if I have it, I will give it to my people. Let them go because they don't have any job opportunities. So I will go. Maybe that backward when they reach, at least we can develop our this one district rather than we say we are going to wait government to come our rescues. So thank you. This is what I have.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Bassett?
Abarka Bake. Honorable Speaker, thank you for permitting me to talk about this motion on enhancing youth employment to cope irregular migration. Honorable Speaker, young people in my constituency have championed in providing decent job for themselves. And you have been seeing on reports, on news, every time, simply it is this motor taxi. I guess all of you have seen it on news. Young people provide themselves this opportunity not to embark on this irregular journey. But due to some circumstances on our laws, it's a problem because always they are in conflict with law enforcement officers. Simply reason is not part of our laws. So during the consultation meeting, this have come as a recommendation to the law enforcement bodies, especially the Gambia Police Force, under the Motor Traffic Act, I can say. They said this should be part of the law to allow them to be using the routes of this country to ease transportation from one door to another, because they know that they are also part of the society. So they also want to ease transportation. That's why they provide themselves with this decent job, not to embark on this journey. And also, it is to complement the efforts of the government. So please, stakeholders who are following us this sitting, please, you have to open gates for these young people to embark on this motor taxi. From there, Honorable Speaker, there are a lot of skill centers being developed in this country, from Koina to Kato. In my region, we were fortunate to have Julangel Skill Center, that is in Jimara. But, Honorable Speaker, for some young people to access this skill center is a challenge. And the type of trainings that are available there does not suit the young people in rural Gambia. So it is high time government to look into, especially the USET, to see this type of syllabus being run there that suits rural Gambia. I think it will be very important. Let's see, for instance, every time this country people are crying of we're not having bread, we're not having bread. Why can we have beggary in part of our skills syllabus? It is going to help us. Just recently, one of the institutions that I work with, they have invested a lot in bringing those machines here. And they are training young people to be beggars so that this subject of bread can be addressed. Honorable Speaker, sports and sports development. There will be a time in this country, simple fact is, if you see in my constituency, my own village in particular, our football team have all gone. And now there is different trends of this migration, irregular migration process. Before, it was Spain through Morocco. It was Libya then. And now we are talking about 7 days journey to Spain, from where some parts of the Gambia here it is happening, especially places like Gunju. Young people are taking this every day and they are risking their life. So therefore, government have to look into these mechanisms, how they can cope this, and let them provide opportunities for young people in this country. Honorable Speaker, I stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I now call on Honorable Member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, Honorable members. I will start with the adage that said, young people are cream of every nation. And as the saying goes, the beauty of the garden lies in the variety of the flower. Similarly, for a state to develop and realize has a goal, young people need to be put in the center stage in any development. Looking at the topic at hand, which is employment and irregular migration, they are connected. Citing from the Gambia Labor Survey in 2018, it cited that 95% of the people who are embarking on this perilous journey, the reason that they give is because of an employment problem. They are not employed. They don't have, even they are employed, but they don't have, decent job that will, commensurate, their needs to live a better life. So, Honorable Speaker, discussing this matter of irregular migration, we understand if you journey through the statistics, we have some people who made it to Europe, but we have a lot of young Gambians who died and are buried in the Sahara, and some people are linguistic in castration center in some North African countries. The reality is that the journey is causing a lot of problems, but we are just seeing the positive side. Those who, made it to Europe and they are helping their families with remittances. You look at also like the IOM, survey that was conducted from July 2016 to March 2017. This was conducted in 2 cities in Mali, that Gao and Segu. It cited that about 25,000 migrants were recorded. And 95% of those migrants are citizens of 5 countries. And Gambia is among those 5 countries. And Gambia as a country, accounted for 7% of that 90% of young people who embark on this perilous journey. So, as a country, are we ready to keep irregular migration? Are we ready to address the issue of unemployment? The issue of unemployment cannot be just addressed with, rhetorics. We have to be ready for it as a country. Because of like we're saying there's employment problem. Fine, there's employment problem. But is our government ready? How our stakeholders around the corridor of power are husbanding the issue of young people? You look at, like, for example, the budget. What is located for the Ministry of Youth and Sport? Is ask good, ask no budget. But still, our authorities would say we are prioritizing youth matters. And we cannot develop as a nation if we don't prioritize the young people, because they are the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow. But if their issues are not prioritized, it's not put in the heart of the national development agenda, it's not going to work. Let us call spade a spade, and let us ready for business. And I believe there's no country that can develop without skill. Let me give an example. 30 years ago, China was a backward country. The reason why today they are competing, their economic is booming because of skills.
Order in the house, please.
Because of skills. They introduce skills.
Order in the house.
But you see, here, all we are good at is producing good grammarians. We think that, good grammar is monopoly of leaders. We think that before you can be a good leader, you have to be a rat. No. We need to introduce skills so that at least if government cannot provide employment for everybody, let the young people provide employment. And also our education system should prepare the learners for the job market. You graduate from university, you will be searching for jobs because of the education system doesn't prepare you for the job market. And you'll be struggling, running from one office to another. So I believe it's high time our government come up with strategy to see that, TVET centers are equipped, not only to build TVET centers, but let them be equipped. And let us put in the mindset of the young people, the narrative can only change through skills work. Not everybody cannot be in the office. So it's important, government to be very serious on these TVET centers, and we make sure that, we provide jobs and decent jobs where people are going to be paid well so that we can cope irregular migration. If not, we will continue preaching about irregular migration till another 100 years, people will not stop this job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the privilege and stand before this gathering and give my words as I was informed by my people in Kansala. I made consultation with members of Kansala who were youths, and what they told me is what I'm going to tell you exactly as they said. They said to me, Ismaila, go back and tell them that we will continue to embark on this irregular migration as long as the government is not interested in what we do. That was scary. If a country should rely on the youth for national development, and the same youth are here telling the government that they are not even giving their ear to listen to the government, to tell them not to leave for their better future. That is scary. And we all know the issue surrounding irregular migration. We all know. There is nobody who didn't know. It is there. Everyone is seeing it. But no one cares. So this is why the problem will not be solved. Now, to make recommendations, we start from the grassroots. If you see a child of 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years embarking on this journey, perilous journey, you begin to wonder, because this is a child who has no responsibilities at all. But why did he choose to? That means we nurture these things in our families. That the only way that you make it in life is to live. It should be changed. We should change this narrative. We don't expect people to live in a society where they will choose only to leave the country in order to make success. Definitely. That is a deprivation of right. We don't have that. They are depriving our right as citizens because we need to make it in our own country. And besides, when we talk about employment, we are talking about meaningful employment. A person, some civil servant, after serving 10 years in this country, as I'm speaking, after serving the government for 10 good years, their gross salary, some is 6,000. After serving 10 years in your country, they are killing spirit, honestly. That is not justifiable anywhere on earth. You spend so many time going to school from nursery level, primary, secondary education, high school, you go to the college, go to university, and you are paid something like that. Definitely. We need to show a sign of seriousness before people will respect us as a nation. We can follow the statistic. We can go to workplaces and make consultations. You ask, you go to the interior, you go to other institutions, you go to education. What they are paying you, if you remove the 2 bags of rice, the next thing that you do, you go to the shopkeeper and beg, please help me till next month. Let me, meet some other demands. That is definitely not fair. I'm not here to correct and make confirmation that fine, people should leave this country. But the way people are leaving this country, for me, I'm afraid, because I'm opportune to be working at the border. Sometimes I'm privileged to talk to some of these youth. Sometimes I'll call them to my office and invite them. Can we have a discussion? I want to know exactly why do you want to leave? Some people will tell me, my brother.
Thank you so much, honorable member. I was very interested to know what he said after saying my brother, but unfortunately your time is up. I will now call on honorable member for Fonyi Brevet.
No, it's very true. Speaker have been denying me. Thank you very much for this time giving me the floor. Just a quick response. A honorable member said when the Europeans were coming, the manner in which they also come was also irregular. That's very true. And then, but looking at it, that doesn't also mean we should also force ourselves to the detriment of our life. Even if that will also have to be done, we have to be very much responsible in how we also do it. And then I'm not also justifying in any way that we should also embark on irregular journey. So now, coping irregular migration. We are talking about employment. Others have also talked about well payment. You see, we don't just want someone to be employed for the sake of employment. The work should also be able, the payment you receive at the end of the day should also be able to meet some of your demands. But whereas you are receiving a less salary, you need to pay rent, you need to buy cash power. Even now also the cash power have also been increased. You also need to pay school fees of your kids. You also need to buy some other things. So obviously your salary will not be able to cater for you. Now, when civil servants are receiving good salary, obviously we will not also be thinking of this irregular migration. Now, when we check about on teachers, you check also the servicemen. Those that are living are very many. But now let's check on public health officers. Let's check on lawyers. Let's check on doctors. How many of them are living? It's because they are receiving good payment. Now, when we want to stop this irregular migration, even though we are employing people, but also they should be able to get something that will be able to cater at least 75% or 80% of their needs. Now, we also need to have effective and efficient security system. Sometimes some people, you understand, let's say when we say carton, we are having is it a military camp at Khartoum? Sometimes you understand that these people that also embark on this irregular migration, that is where they use as their second airport, even though we have another one in Yuno, but we also have another airport in Gunjura and Khartoum. Now we have the security officers that are also there. They should be able to ensure that people do not also use those places as a transit point to
Point
move
of
to
order,
other.
Honorable Speaker.
Please proceed.
The honorable member for Fonyi Brefet is talking about that we have another airport, but we only know of one airport, that is the one in Yundum. So let him clarify, let us understand.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Very well. So please, it's important you do not distract me. When you have to have point of order, let it be on procedural matter, not on this case. You're supposed to say point of observation. Next time, let me teach you all this. So now, when we also look at this, college, now you have to pay. The payment now, tuition fee, is increasing. With all of those hardship, when you are done, there is 50% you may have school, 50% you may not have school. Now let's say, for instance, you are there and you are able to get any school. For you to be sitting for whole 1 year, you and your family members, you continue looking at each other. Your father is feeding you. Obviously, sometimes this have to put some people to also go on this irregular migration. So we have to look on that one. And also, government should also stop recycling these old age people. You reach at 60 years, yes, still, they are saying retired but not tired. When we have young people that can also be able to mantle those positions, when you retire, my friend, move. We allow the young ones to also come in. Now, when things are going, you see, as a country, as individual, we should have this contentment. We should also have self-esteem in us. We should also believe that we can be able to make it in the Gambia here. There are people that are in the Gambia here. They make it in the Gambia here. We can also be able to do that one. But when we are saying, Gambia do them, labun na jano, and we should be able to, that is why that Techifi project is very much important. Let us have this hope that Gambian back in all that. And back in all that, you check on other countries. The citizen is the citizen that's it. Now, if all of us want to move, when we all move, at the next one, who are the people that are going to take care of this country? You see, migration is very okay. We can move, but also when we are also moving, let us also use regular ways, not irregular ways. Now, we also check under 18 people. The country should be able to provide means in which under 18, people think of you going to school, but you thinking of taking care of your family. That should not be done. So we should be able to do it. And then sometimes also we also need to blame ourselves. Now, there isn't the man skill center in my district, but also we should also check there are certain youths, Taitaji, Imam Parekataji. And all of us know, all of us cannot be in the office. All of us cannot be in the other area. So now, folk who are diverse, me right now, even if no matter what I might have, funga di mason. I cannot be able to do that. And consultancy and also. So now, private works. Private work is also increased. Speaker.
Thank you. Sorry, honorable member, your time is up.
Honorable Speaker, I'm giving
Thank
my
you so
2
much.
minutes to the honorable member to continue.
Thank you, honorable member.
He
Well,
gave me 2 minutes.
he's not the one in charge of the time. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I understand your generosity, honorable member, for celebrating. I'm generous as well, but the time says 5 minutes. Thank you so much. I now call on honorable nominated member for persons with disabilities.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Okay, so my submission on this would be, true that the government has a huge role to play when it comes to employment, but as youths too, what is our role? True, a lot of people are embarking on this irregular migration, locally called the back way. But then we also have people, a lot of people coming into this country. Why? Because there are jobs available. It's our attitude sometimes that is what is drifting us away. For example, go to Serekunda Market. Most of the shops are either owned by Senegalese or other nationalities. Go to the highways, people selling. Are they those? Most of them, majority, I could say 90% are also foreigners. What are the Gambian youths doing? Sitting at the junctions, complaining here and there. There is no job, there is no job. How about the jobs that those people are taking? In your own country, are you better than them? Techie fee is really true there. There have been people who started, at a very little pace, but you can see where they are now. And they did not have to go outside to get all that they could. They stayed in this country, worked, and it's because of our attitudes. Attitude really matters. And then, sadly, as you'd say, most of us are lazy. That's the sad reality. Okay, now to come to the part where government can, contribute to curb this, my recommendation would be to keep on encouraging local businessmen here. For example, if a Gambian wants to start a business, give him 5 years tax-free, for example, to encourage other Gambians to come and invest. Once they invest, they could also create job opportunities for people of this nation. I would rest my case here by saying we the youths, we really need attitudinal change if we really want to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable member. May I now invite honorable member for Birkama South.
Too generous of you, honorable, because I didn't raise my tag for this one, but glad that you finally gave me this one, and I will certainly speak on the topic. Regarding irregular migration, I also had consultations at my constituency, and something, if there's anything I've realized is that people have lost hope. I think that's what it is, and the reason for that is you see people of different level, people who have graduated from school, others who are working, they will tell you that we just do not think that we can definitely make it here. What I earn hardly takes me up to the 20th of this month from the level that I am today. And the longer time takes, the bigger the responsibilities I will be having. So if it continues that way, I feel like I'm digging sort of a grave for myself, because the more I go, the higher the chances that I will need other earnings, and then there are high chances that for the next 5 years, my earnings will remain the same. And one outstanding thing that they said that I wanted to share with this August Parliament was that if you look at the time when the government was adjusting salaries, the 30% increment, they suggested that it would have been better of having those at the lower grade to have been having the bigger portion, because if you look at it, everyone is generally affected. We can agree to that. But the most affected people are the ones who are at the lower grade. And if you look at the people that are going for this irregular migration, most of them are the people who are found in that branch. It takes a lot to reach at grade 10 or 11 or so on and so forth. And most of those who reach at that level most of the time might not be quite worried about the issue of going for irregular migration. But unfortunately, what we had seen was that it was across the board. It did not lift anyone from that situation, and it continues being that way. And another interesting thing that was said was this: it concerns the youth. It's the issue of, if you look at most of the bills that are brought here, this might sound controversial, but it's a fact at the end of the day. We have the current parliament and the former one as well. They normally come with bills that targets them who are here. We had the judiciary as well, who also were coming up with bills that only targets them. But you hardly see any bill that is brought here that targets the youths in order to create job opportunities for them, in order just to ensure that they are also, to bring back that hope that they will have that they can make it in this country. Of recent, we have seen issue of TVETs in this country. I think it's encouraging, but TVETs are the beginning, they're just not the end. I read a report that is published, I think, in YGF. It was conducted by the National Assembly Research Committee. It was funded by IRA. It makes certain observations when it comes to the TVET issues. It raises that there are challenges when it comes to the TVET schools that are currently operating. The issue of apprenticeship that is not part of the, that is not catered for in the TVET, and also the issue of startup capitals for those who have completed these TVET programs. Because at times it's one thing to finish whatever program you're doing there, but it's another thing also to have something that you can start with to start your own business. So if you're training them, they are done, but then they don't have a startup capital to start whatever they want to start with, then it becomes another problem. And also it highlighted part of the thing that it was mentioned was that many Gambian young people, if I can directly quote this, do struggle to have meaningful job or quality job after graduation. And that also forms part of the reasons why majority of them do leave. So you can just see people will just be going, finish high school, go to university, your entire family will be struggling to pay for your tuition fee, and even after the payment of your tuition fee, you finish, you get a job, but the job that you're getting is actually even struggling to sustain you, more so your family. All those things bring pressures, because at the end of the day, a lot was already invested in you. And one of the things that can be done, which was recommended by the people who participated in that consultation, was that maybe the government need to look at the cost of studies at university. We can argue whether 40,000 is how expensive it is, but what we can all agree on is the fact that for an ordinary Gambian, 40,000 is absolutely expensive to be afforded by an ordinary Gambian.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. May I now invite Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. The matter at hand, there is a motion for youth employment and how to cope irregular migration. I think this topic is very, very important. Looking at from our consultation that we have in our constituency, from my end, with the engagement with the young people of Fonyi Bintang Karanai, they want to give me some of the problems or constraints that they have with regards to youth unemployment in the area. One of the challenges that the youth of Fonyi Bintang Karanai are faced with is lack of job opportunity. Minimal job opportunities are in the area. Looking at it very well, when many people, when they graduate from school, they have limited opportunity due to limited skill centers available in that area, and also some will not even be able to complete their schooling and they will drop out, especially in the area of the female aspect, where teenage pregnancy is so rampant within the area. So for those young people who are left not completing their school, or some who are dropped out, some will even prefer going to this dangerous journey that is irregular migration. So if you look at the other aspect, that is lack of sporting facilities, as alluded by some of the other
honorable members, sport is something that the young people of Fonyi Bintang Karanai are interested in, but the support in the area of sport infrastructure is lacking. The only facility that the young people of Fonyi Bintang Karanai are using is the school football fields. And if there are Nawetan or other events of the young people that are supposed to be held in that football field, if it collides with the school events, that means those activities of the young people have to be dropped out because they do not own their own facility. In going further with that, the young people of Fonyi Bintang, through the concerned citizens of Sibanor, there is a group in Sibanor within Fonyi Bintang Karanai that came up with an initiative of lobbying a space where that place can be served as a youth-friendly center. But funding in building that place is a great concern. So we will encourage, if there are partners who can partner with the young people of Fonyi Bintang Karanai to help in the construction or building of that center. Coming to the irregular migration, young people of Fonyi Bintang Karanai are greatly affected with this. Even if you look at our sporting area, most of our footballers are leaving for Bagwe in order to gain popularity because they are not marketed within the local area because of the lack of facilities. Not many people will come from the combos or to go and look at them at the grassroots there because the facility is not that attractive. So they will venture into this Bagwe, and then luckily, most of them who were lucky to be in the abroad through this irregular migration, some of them are just flourishing. They are becoming professional footballers because of the access that they have in those areas. So, and also, we have challenge in the internal movement where some of them will have to, because of the limited amount of payment they have in their job, some will leave to the nearby Kasama zone to cultivate these illicit drugs, marijuana, just to gain more income. Because venturing into that, which is very dangerous. And then too many lives were also missed during the clash between the Senegalese military and then the rebels in that zone. Those young people who venture into that just to earn a living for their family and for themselves, unfortunately, some of them lost their lives. In just 2 weeks back, 2 young people lost their life in that process, so which is very sad. So the government of the Gambia should try to create job opportunities through building skill centers within the districts, especially in Fonyi Bintang. There is not even single skills training center where young people can be proud of, where they can learn skills to develop themselves. So we will encourage on that.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I wish you could do the final note, but that was your final minute. So, honorable members, I have the honor to invite, I want to first of all thank all the honorable members that have contributed to the motion. I now have the honor to invite the honorable member for Combo South, the very mover of the motion, to respond to the concerns raised during discussions and as well wind up the debate.
Okay, thank you.
Point of order, Honorable.
Yes, Honorable.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I have been raising my tag and I am asked to put it down because my name was written for the first and second motion, and still I have not been called.
Thank you for raising that concern, Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on a point of order. I also raised my tag, but then I have not been called on this topic that was under discussion.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Point of observation.
Could we switch off our mic? Yes, please, Honorable Member for Fonyi Brevet.
Yeah, so I believe we need to understand point of observation and point of order. What the honorable members are saying is point of observation, because point of order, there is no breach of procedural matter. So being called, it doesn't mean when you are not called, it's a breach of procedural matter. So when that is not done, so we say point of observation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I really I really understand your explanation. However, in this case, it might be a point of order on the basis that we have set a rule in the House that you raise your hand and you are called. So in that circumstance, even if it is not in the standing orders, it becomes a guiding rule. And in that case, it could be a point of order. So honorable members that have raised their tags and were not called, you might want to raise your tag again. However, I would like to inform you all that we have still a motion to go. If you're willing to spend the night here, that's okay. If not, I would have really appealed to the honorable members to possibly reserve your energy for the next motion because it could be a very long one. Yes. You are ready, honorable member for Serekunda, I still want to go ahead.
Yes, it's because I'm
I just needed a yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, please, I plead with you to allow the honorable member for Serekunda to submit, and from there I would have the honorable member for Congo South to wind up the debate. Is this something we can work by? Thank you. Honorable member for Serekunda, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And my fellow honorable members, thank you very much for giving me the floor. It's important for me to speak in this because I am also the chair for the youth employment and irregular migration. So it would be an honor to speak on this. And also remember, we have said that this time around the sitting is not just on beautiful speeches, but on action as well. Because the last time we were here and we had the chance to do more. So what we have done is what we should say here. So also as the chairperson for youth employment and irregular migration, personally, we all know the country is very hard. As other honorable members alluded, especially the nominating member for the people of disability, saying that to as well. What is
honorable member, the right term is persons with disabilities.
Persons with disabilities. Thank you. Asking what is our rules rather, as youths when it comes to unemployment and also the irregular migration. It is a very important question. As much as we are saying the government should also do something, what have we done in this process? Because you know that. And me personally, I can stand anywhere and say it, I have lost hope in this government, honestly, because we have not seen anything that they are doing that really is reflecting our interests as youths. So always my concern is, what are we doing, we the next generation of leaders? You know, when the honorable member for Bakau stood up, I almost cried here because you could see the energy that he was speaking on. That was too emotional because I know him personally. The energy that he spent in making sure that he is trying to bring, you know, youths back to their self, to be able to believe in the country. And we have lost hope. Yesterday we said it here. When we interact with our youths, they always tell us this. 9 out of the 10 we interact with have said that they have given up in this country. And when you look at the statistic of GBOS and macro trends, 45 to 47% of youths are unemployed in this country. And still now, from 1965 up to today, we have said it. You don't play football at Mango, at Orange. Even when you go and lobby, they can give you processing machines that can process our mango into mango juice, our orange into orange juice, our cashew into other things, our tomato that we are tomato in here. You know, we can turn it into ketchups. So these are realities. These are things that are not magic. You know, and we are pleading with the government. Please get us factories. You know, get us industries that would be able to create these massive employment opportunities for our people. For God's sake, a country that is less than 3 billion. You cannot produce factories. Look at the Fonyi there. Look at the empty lands that we have there. You know, look at Jahali Pacha. Is there lying down, sleeping? We are not making good use of it.
Point of observation.
Please, let me go. Sorry. We are not making good use of it. You know, I am pleading to the government that this is the solution of this country. Create factories. Create industries, because these things, when you create them, we have seen them in Senegal. Back in the days, the sub-region were coming in the Gambia here to buy a lot of stuff into this country. And when the president of Senegal, by then saw this, created what we call Sotiba, a factory that produces these works, PC. Legi Gambia, mooy dem Senegal, di dem jënd ji piece. Indi ko biir Gambia fii. Why can't we do that? Is it that our leaders are myopic? That they do not have the foresight to make sure that we are able to create these factories, these industries? And the honorable member for Bokau said it clearly. There is no immortality. The next generation is coming. And if you could see it clearly, we are the next generation. We are coming. There is no immortality. And when we come on board, it's action. We are going to take charge of the affairs of this country and make sure that this country does not belong a tax-based country, but a country that will make good use of our resources to make sure that we are able to create industries and factories, to make sure that our people, our youths are able to have the opportunity. Our youths are living and naturalizing in other countries, especially in Senegal. Some boy in Senegal, Sarakunda, they go to Senegal almost to naturalize there, just because there they have scouts that are coming to watch them play football. Here, we cannot even bring the scouts to come and scout our people in our country. Are we playing football here? We are joking, man. And our members, like I've said it, even as an honorable member in the parliament, when you go outside, you can bring those opportunities. Make connection and bring it here. Let us build factories. Let us build industries.
Thank you so much, honorable member. I now have the honor to invite honorable member for Como South to respond to concerns raised and as well wind up the debate.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you so much, the honorable members, for the very important submission. Of course, these are very representative, considering the fact that almost all the honorable members had consultative sittings at their various constituencies, where members were there to accept the submission from the young people of the Gambia concerning some of these important issues. So of course, going through some of the deliberations that I think the government...
Sorry, honorable member. Please, those in the gallery, we need optimum silence from you. Thank you. Please go ahead.
So for that being the case, definitely members have submitted that the government is definitely doing good, but yet still there are a lot of gaps that need to be filled. And equally, we have also seen some improvement in terms of TVET institutions, but the submission has to be like the TVET institutions and other youth centers should be disability friendly, so that it can provide that opportunity for everybody to access despite anyhow you feel like. So again, the budget allocations also has been highlighted, and which is very important. These institutions equally, what is also catered for youth and sport should also be put into consideration, so that at least we have a better and more budget in terms of meeting the needs of the young people of the Gambia. And again, infrastructural development such as public places, things like football fields, sport development centers, and so on. These are very important, even though we know that the government of the Gambia through GFF, they are trying to rehabilitate certain centers. And equally, we also implore on the government to improve on that. And then again, if you look at the progress of some of those facilities, it's definitely disheartening. We call on to the government to put pressure on GFF in order to expedite some of the processes and so on. And again, we want to see such facilities are intensified to accommodate other sporting events like athletic, and again, things like basketball, and the list goes on. And employment also has been put into consideration, of course. Employment, not only employment, but employment should also be sexy. I'm sorry to say this. Should be sexy for the fact that your employment should be able to attract you. So it will so that you have that zeal, that energy to maintain serving the service as well. So that is very important, that the employment, not only for the sake of employment.
Sorry, honorable member, you meant to say employment should be attractive?
Exactly. Exactly, that's what I want to say. It should be attractive such in a way that the employees have that energy, have that love to continue serving the actual job that is designated to. So again, also, if you looked at the in terms of employment as well, we also seen that with commensurations, what has been provided at the end of this service, the end of service benefit, sometimes it does not commensurate with the actual economic trends. So that also has to be looked into consideration. When salaries are increased, the taxes are also increased. And with regards to other social amenities like access to electricity and so on. So all these things have to be factored so that at least the employment opportunity can also have that energy to maintain people in their job spaces and so on. So productive bases like agriculture is very important. As members of the House alluded to, and Gambia, we are blessed to have parameters such as sea water that is salty, is very good for agricultural production like aquaculture and so on. Also,